I think Franky is probably one of the best representations of positive masculinity in media. And the reason he portrays positive masculinity so well isn't just because he isn't afraid to show emotion. It's because he understands that being a quote unquote a man is to be there when you are needed, as well as accepting help when it is offered. Franky's entire character arc is him going through the idea that he needs to be able to love himself even when no one else around him will, as well as the fact that if he makes something or if he takes responsibility for something, he needs to be there for it no matter what. It is his responsibility, and he needs to be the one to take care of it because who else will? The Franky family is the very embodiment of this idea, as well as the fact that he tattoos Battle Franky 37, I think it might be 38 post time skip, but he tattoos that on his shoulder to give him that idea of self-love. Because his mentor Tom tells him that if he made something, the creator must love it no matter what, because who else will? And that's why he makes the Franky family. He takes all the misfits and outcasts of Water 7, gives them a home, and actually takes care of them and makes sure that they are actually loved and cared for. Yes, he does the most outlandish things at the randomest of moments, but that's him being true to who he is. It's the way that he loves to express himself, and he understands that his self-expression should not come at the harm of anyone else. But he also understands that a lot of people around him will oftentimes choose to repress that feeling for themselves, which is why his fight with Senior Pink is that idea of positive masculinity versus toxic masculinity. Franky has been in a similar place to Senior Pink, which is why he is the only one who can actually understand and completely changes his tone when fighting him, because he knows what Senior Pink needs to hear in order to get out of this mindset. And he does this not by coming from a place of judgment, but by coming from a place of understanding. He does this throughout with pretty much every interaction he has with new people. He is caring, he is accepting, and he is not afraid to show emotions, but he is also not afraid to be stoic when he needs to be. Because he understands that sometimes stoicism is the necessary route to take. The best example I can think of this off the top of my head is probably with Big Mom, when he literally just runs over her face because he knows he has to save face in order to make sure the rest of his crew feels safe. Another really good example is on Thriller Bark when he directly asks Brooke, why bother living this long if you are just going to go, get your shadow back and just continue as a skeleton. He's not coming from a place of animosity, but he's coming from a genuine place of, hey, this is something you need to take into consideration. You are no longer a human. I've been in this similar situation. I've come back as a cyborg. I've seen the way people treat me. You are a walking skeleton. No one besides probably our misfit crew is going to have a roaringly positive reaction to you just walking up to an island. And then when Brooke responds to him, Franky completely understands. He breaks down crying because he understands completely what Brooke's promise means to him, and the lengths that he is willing to go through, no matter what others may think of him, no matter how long it's been, it's still a promise that he needs to keep. Franky is one of the Straw Hats that is not put off by Brooke's immediate appearance. He is surprised, but he's not put off by the fact that he's a skeleton. But he's also the one who's going to ground him, being like, hey, I'm not disturbed by this, but I'm not the rest of the world. I love that whenever he shows up, you can always expect that he's going to do something random, but at the same time, he's going to be there for the members of his crew and the members who are not a part of his crew, to be that anchor and to be that person that they can all rely on. Another great example in Dressrosa was when he first met the Tontadas. He knew he had a mission, so he decided, okay, I'm going to listen to your story, but be warned, I don't cry easy. We all know this is a lie. They tell him everything, and he starts bawling immediately, and he calls Luffy, and he's just like, I want to help these guys. Because he understands their struggle. He relates to what they are doing, and he knows that, hey, these are the little guys, and I want to help them get to wherever they need to be. They want freedom, I'm going to help them achieve it. If it means that we got to flip over a factory in order to do so, to hell with it, we're flipping over a factory. And I think this is probably why he's my favorite Straw Hat. He is an absolute wild card, but he's never disingenuous. With Franky, what you see is what you get, and it's why I think, honestly, his post-time skip design, although I do like pre-time skip more, his post-time skip design perfectly embodies what he is. He's an absolute weirdo who's just full of surprises, and I love him for it. But yeah, I hope all that made sense.